Hello everyone, welcome back. This is part 3 of 3 very special interviews taking place by Hampshire County Council for Disability History Month. The Christmas lights are up here in Winchester. As Disability History Month draws to a close, we have been doing some very special interviews. If you are listening to this and you haven't listened to the first 2, go back, pause this, go and listen to them. They're on our Facebook and our Twitter feeds. Part 3, Hattie is with me. Hi Hattie. Tell us about your third one.
Our final interview is with Hampshire Music Service.
And Hampshire Music Service, now we've got to sort of have a disclaimer on this one. This isn't just a service for, well, it's a service for children, but not just for children with disability. It's for Hampshire wide, isn't it? But they do very special things for children with disability.
Yeah, so it's aimed at all school children, so anyone up to age 18 can get involved. But they do a lot of work with children with disabilities and try and include them as much as possible.
I can't wait to hear it. Let's get stuck right in. Thanks very much.
So I'm sat here with Jill Lana and Liz Davies, who work for Hampshire Music Service at Hampshire County Council. Jill, could you start by explaining what Hampshire Music Service does for children across Hampshire?
So Hampshire County Council's Music Service is part of the Children's Services Department, and we've got 170,000 children across the county, and we'd like every one of them to have the opportunity to take part in music at some point during their career. Liz Davies is our specialist for the special needs schools, and she'll be able to tell you a lot more about what we do.
So we've got a massive programme actually. We've got, on a regular basis, we have a team of teachers who go into special schools across the county on a weekly basis, and they deliver all sorts of different musical experiences like African drumming, samba, ukulele, keyboard, singing.
Do you find that children who have disabilities or impairments are quite happy to get involved, or do they need a bit more encouraging?
I think we have a mixture of both, and what we try and do is we try and make music accessible for all of the children in the ways that they can access music. So for some it may be more difficult on a practical level, so we adapt what we do. For some they may have more anxiety issues around what they're doing, and so we use little things like props, puppets, try and encourage them to to involve themselves through that.
We do a special celebration each year in the cathedral, which is a nativity, and all of the building is filled with children from special schools. And a lot of them come up and they make music, or they read a passage, or they sing. And really, very often, once they've done it, they kind of punch the air because they're really proud of what they've achieved. And the whole cathedral is just going, yes, they're really, really excited to be able to do it. And when they do it really well. So
do you think that encourages other children then, when they see their friends going up and doing it, and they think, I actually want to have a go at that?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's so much power in seeing your peers do something and think, yeah, I can have a go at that. I'll give it a chance and see what I can do.
We just hope to treat everybody as an individual so that they can actually take part in the way that they want to and do the very best they can. And we're certainly there for anybody, and we'll be able to advise schools and individuals and parents and about the whole range of things that we do. We have lots of people who are so passionate about what they do, including Liz and all the things that she does. We've got a music therapist on the staff. We've put one of our vocal people through British Sign Language up to level 6, so she can now run a signing choir, so all the children can actually sign as they sing, which is really nice. So pretty much something for everybody, whether it's moderate learning difficulties, severe learning difficulties, social, emotional, mental health issues, autistic spectrum. So from music therapy to the gifted and talented, we've got children with special needs in our county ensembles, and they're having a great time. It's amazing what everybody achieves.
So what can schools do to help young people with disabilities become more integrated in music?
In a way, I kind of think that the best mark of success is when people with a disability are invisible, but invisible for the right reasons, because actually what they do and who they are is so much more important, and the way that they are integrating and interacting with the groups that they're working with. Nobody thinks, oh yes, that's the girl in the wheelchair. They think, oh yes, that's so-and-so and she plays the clarinet or whatever it is, and I think that's where the power is where people are not noticed because they're different, but they're completely integrated in the group that they're working in.
We can think about people like Evelyn Glennie, brilliant percussionist, and John Kelly, who's actually invented his own, he calls it a Kellycaster guitar, because he needs to be able to play it slightly differently, but they're both brilliant musicians. they're not brilliant musicians because they've got special needs, but they are just both brilliant musicians.
So can you tell me what the sound beam equipment is in the main street of the castle at Hampshire County Council?
It was initially created for contemporary dance, so that as the dancers moved, they created the music. So it wasn't that they were dancing to a piece of music, but they were actually creating the music from the moves that they made. So it's, from a technical point of view, it looks like two microphones and a set of switches, all attached to a sound module. And when the microphones, if you like, they beam a ray of, what is it? It's like somebody said it was an infrared something, yeah. So they have a sound wave which is coming out of them. When you break that beam, it creates sound. We use it quite a lot in where you're working with children who have impaired movement, because even when they make the slightest movement, it triggers the sound, and the children become aware that actually they are creating sound. So where they're not often able to instigate sound themselves or choose to make a sound, then they can do that by moving in the beam. And it really gets the children's imagination going. And we use it with props. You know, I've done sort of underwater stuff where we've made the fish swim through the beams, and it makes a sort of tinkly, watery sound, and you know, that kind of thing that just really brings music alive to the children as well.
So the sound beam is really engaging and includes everybody?
Yeah, for absolutely everybody, and even when you're working with children with very, very little movement, they can be moved in and out of the beam, and hopefully an awareness will be raised with them that they're actually, you know, instigating that sound and making something themselves.
And we've got other things, haven't we, like the resonance boards, where you can actually lie on this huge kind of piece of wood. When you actually play it, you feel the vibrations of the sound. And we work with Key Changes, which is the music therapy charity, and also the One-Handed Musical Instrument Trust. So they have students who want to play the trumpet but maybe only have one arm, so they can adapt the instruments for them. And we have a girl who's in a wheelchair who plays French horn, and we provided her with something called a pip stick, which means the weight of the thing can be handed or sort of on her leg rather than her arms, which don't have the strength. So it's always really exciting to work with other people and see what they can provide as well.
So what sort of technology do you use with children with disabilities, if any?
And we have a Skoog, SKOOG, which is another Apple-based piece of equipment that looks like a big dice, and it's got 6 different sides which have different sounds attributed to each side. So you can throw it across the room to people, and then they can tap one of the sides and make big games out of it.
Well, thanks so much, Jill and Liz, for chatting to me. Finally then, do you have any advice that you can give to school children, or what sort of skills will they get from getting involved with music?
I was just going to mention the generic skills that obviously music has as well, the things like sharing, turn-taking, working together, building relationships and communication, alongside all the things that we've talked about self-esteem and gaining confidence. So we've got a whole range of really passionate staff on the team. We've got equipment that we can lend out to schools. We can target support from whole classes to whole schools to individuals, and we work with lots of partner organisations. We've got a whole range of events, but most of all I think it's just about music being fun, and actually everybody who takes part in the things that we do really come out smiling and wanting to come back and do more. So anything that anybody wants, look at our website, follow us on Twitter, or give us a call.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for spending the time chatting to me for our final interview for UK Disability History Month.
Amazing. Hattie, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to Hampshire Music Service. They talked a little bit about some contact details at the end there, how people can get in touch.
Yeah, so you can get in touch with Jill or Liz about anything to do with the music service.
And if you type in Hampshire Music Service into Google or your favourite search engine, then I'm sure you can find out some more information from there. Thank you so much again, Hattie. This has been Hampshire County Council for Disability History Month. We'd like to wish you all a very happy Christmas and a restful New Year. Take care.